Hi, I'm Ollie, and this video is going to be fun because I'll be showing you how I went from this silly little sketch to this looping animation which accompanies album art I created for a friend's upcoming lo-fi music project. Also, if you like this video and want more, the subscribe button is just over there, so just a little tap. Okay, onto the video. So, the album my friend is producing is kind of like a sequel to his previous album, which you might actually be familiar with because I use a lot of those tunes on my videos. There's a lot of video game references and interesting sampling on these songs, which I really like. Also, the animation loop I made for the first album was the very first video I uploaded to this channel. I wanted the new artwork to echo the style and feel of the old album, so I was super keen to design a new goofy little sea creature. At first, I was sort of stumped and flipped through many discarded rough drafts, but eventually came up with this quick sketch which I think has a really playful quality to it. I saw a lot of animation potential in the sketch in the hovering UFO-like lemons that are trying to spritz the oblivious jellyfish and the long wavy tentacles. So I started with the animation. Normally I'd make still artwork first, but where's the fun in that? I wanted to mess with my usual process. I broke up my rough sketch into the individual pieces I would need for the animation. I drew the jellyfish in Adobe Illustrator, paying careful attention to layering to make the parts easy to animate. I added in the stripe pattern as well as some shading, grains and highlights. I created just an individual tentacle in Illustrator along with these suction cups I could animate later. The final asset I needed was a stylized lemon, which I modeled in 3D Studio Max. I also created a basic texture for my lemon in Substance Painter. Over in Adobe After Effects, I made some simple animation for the character's head. The wandering eye motion is looped with a wiggle expression applied to it, which is also applied to the tongue. I created the head pulse by keyframing the scale on a puppet pin. I thought the motion of the tentacles could look cool following a flowy wave-like pattern, so I did a few test runs with basic shapes. Soon, I was ready for the real thing. The individual tentacles are animated like this. I grouped them together after applying a wave warp effect and then animated the bunch using puppet pins here, here, and here. I created this pattern using a combination of wave warps and puppet pins. For my lemon, I built out a basic rocking animation in Max. Here's what my setup looks like. I have my lights here and my camera over here. I was done creating all my assets, so it was time to glue everything together in After Effects. I added some transparency to the jellyfish and attached its tentacles. The halo around the lemon was made with a flare, which I think makes the scene look striking, and the puff of lemon juice is actually a colored smoke cloud. My composition was coming together, but it was missing something: bubbles. This colorful bubble I whipped up is a nod to the previous album's color palette. I used the bubble to make this particle effect. Whoa, under the sea. I still have to make a still for the album. This was easy enough. All I needed to do was look for a cool frame to render out. And done. Looking at my final artwork, I'm really glad I experimented with my process. I created a quirky piece of art for my friend and had tons of fun in the process. I think the animation generated many little nuances and a sense of motion I wouldn't have been able to achieve with this specific piece otherwise. The motion blur applied to the bubbles adds to the sense of movement. The randomness in the tentacles and particles help to make the picture less flat and geometric. Ultimately, this project comprises of a bunch of nested loops all converging at a single frame to create a unique composition. Hopefully, I'll get to experiment even more and have you along too. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do the YouTube things to get notified when I drop more content. See you later.